embarrassment.
Okay, so
The issues crossed the line and instigated an NCAA investigation.
For the last 4 years, the NCAA has been investigating the University of Miami's athletic program, finding a Pell Grant scam, a pay-for-play money pool, and drug testing violations, just to name a few.
Reports of cash payments to some hurricanes that date back nearly a decade.
This was a complete surprise to me.
Luther Campbell of Two Live Group, portrayed as a major supplier of money and bonuses, denied making payments today.
The Lombardi Award winner defensive lineman Warren Sapp has tested positive for drug use 7 times, 6 times for marijuana, once for cocaine.
Bad news for the University of Miami. 2 Hurricane football players are now under federal indictment.
Receiver Lamar Thomas and running back Jason Marucci indicted by a federal grand jury on charges they obtained Pell Grant money through false methods.
How Miami was that Pell Grant scandal? You had an academic advisor who worked in the athletic program, defrauding the federal government to at least in part fund his cocaine habit.
Tony Russell admitted conspiring with 85 student athletes in 9 different sports, including 57 football players from 1989 to 91. The school could face NCAA probation. It could be banned from television and postseason bowl games and lose millions of dollars in revenue.
The Seattle Seahawks have hired Dennis Erickson as their new head coach.
I love the University of Miami and the time that I spent there, and you got to think about this. Howard Snellenberger, Jimmy Johnson, Dennis Erickson, they've all won, and whoever the next coach is, they're going to win too.
When Dennis Erickson left, it was a dark cloud over the program from the players' perspective because we didn't know who we were going to get.
Question now in Caneland, who's next?
The search was on for someone with head coaching experience.
In 1995, I clearly wasn't the first choice. I think that they had probably exhausted just about every single opportunity to interview guys. I think they'd interviewed Jim Trussell and some other people and had all gotten turned down. And I'm very grateful that they all turned it down.
The Dallas Cowboys lost another assistant coach today, defensive coordinator Butch Davis. He'll take over for Dennis Erickson at the University of Miami.
The University of Miami was a terrific football opportunity. What was probably maybe potentially a nightmare and maybe even a dead-end road for some coaches.
Butch Davis was a defensive assistant on Jimmy Johnson's 1987 University of Miami championship team.
5 years that I spent here in mid and late 80s were 5 of the most glorious and most enjoyable years that I have ever spent coaching, and I'm looking forward to a great future.
And he was a defensive assistant on 2 of Jimmy Johnson's champions in Dallas with the Cowboys.
We are going to come try and compete and win national championships and be as competitive around the nation as we possibly can be.
We kind of exhaled and a sigh of relief.
There's a new sheriff in town, but old problems still persist.
How do you change the most hated program in the country? How do you change the culture? How do you change the environment? How do you get us back on track to where the names in the paper are not there because of police records and they're not there for things that were embarrassing the university at that time?
We felt very positive about the extensive work that's been done by the university staff, the compliance officers, the attorneys, and the council that have worked on this on some issues for as long as 4 years.
An investigation that had gone on, I had somewhat been led to believe that it was pretty much a dead issue. And I get a phone call from somebody and says, have you seen the latest cover of Sports Illustrated? And I said, no, I haven't. They said, well, you probably don't want to, but you need to go get one. You need to read it.
Sports Illustrated called for the eradication of the University of Miami program.
What a joke. I saw that, I wanted to puke. What they made drop football at the University of Miami. We're 18 years old, 19 years old. Everybody makes mistakes.
I think people were kind of jealous of the University of Miami, of what we accomplished over the years, you know.
The Miami Hurricanes, a program that for the first time in 10 years starts a season not ranked in the top 10.
That does seem kind of odd. The Miami mystique is gone.
I think Brooks, in his first game, I think it's clear that he does not have the same team that was there last year or the year before.
We stunk. That first year, it was horrible.
Butch Davis comes out and loses 3 of his first 4.
Those first 6 months, it seemed like that just about every single month
there was going to be another piece of drama.
Today, the collegiate version of the Orange Crush was sacked by the NCAA.
22nd ranked Canes are paying for infractions committed under former coaches Dennis Erickson and Jimmy Johnson.
Everybody wanted to know when the shoe falls, how bad is it going to be? Maybe they're going to do to the University of Miami what they did at SMU, totally disband the program for a year or two.
Here's a look at the verdict for you.
13 scholarships lost in 96-97, 11 for 97-98. In all, 31 scholarships eliminated.
Never in my